Sexual harassment in the workplace. Understand, prevent, respond. In this training video, we will review the definition of sexual harassment, learning the different types of sexual harassment, identifying sexual harassment, and steps to filing a complaint. Sexual harassment is defined as unwelcome verbal, visual, or physical conduct of a sexual nature that is severe or pervasive and affects working conditions or creates a hostile work environment. Conduct is not sexual harassment if it is welcome. For this reason, it is important to communicate to the harasser that the conduct makes you uncomfortable and you want it to stop. Inappropriate conduct versus sexual harassment. The conduct of the harasser must be either severe or pervasive to be classified as sexual harassment. Although a single unwanted request for a date or one sexually suggestive comment might offend you and/or be inappropriate, it may not be sexual harassment. However, a number of relatively minor separate incidents may add up to sexual harassment if the incidents affect your work environment. To determine if the actions are sexual harassment, ask yourself, how many times did the incidents occur? How long has the harassment been going on? How many others have been sexually harassed? And who were the witnesses to the harassment? Sexual harassment affects working conditions or creates a hostile work environment. It may be sexual harassment if the conduct unreasonably interferes with your work performance or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment. For example, it may be sexual harassment if repeated sexual comments make you so uncomfortable at work that your performance suffers or you decline professional opportunities because it will put you in contact with a harasser. Sexual harassment can be physical, such as inappropriate touching of a person or a person's clothing, hugging, patting, stroking, and it can be verbal or written, such as comments about clothing, personal behavior or a person's body, sexual or sex-based jokes, requesting sexual favors or repeatedly asking a person out, sexual innuendos, telling rumors about a person's personal or sexual life, threatening a person, sending emails or text messages of a sexual nature, and online harassment. Sexual harassment can also be nonverbal, such as looking up and down a person's body, derogatory gestures or facial expressions of a sexual nature, and following a person. Or it can be visual, such as posters, drawings, pictures, screensavers, emails, or text of a sexual nature. Types of sexual harassment. Quid pro quo, or this for that. A person in a position of authority, typically a supervisor, demands sexual favors as a condition to getting or keeping a job benefit. Hostile work environment is verbal, physical, or visual forms of harassment that are sexual in nature, and they fall under the category of hostile environment sexual harassment. A single severe incident, such as a sexual assault, could create a hostile environment. More commonly, a hostile environment is created by a series of incidents. Examples of sexual harassment: unwanted jokes, gestures that are offensive, words on clothing and unwelcome comments and witty responses, touching and any other bodily contact such as scratching or patting a coworker's back, grabbing an employee around the waist, or repeated requests for dates that are turned down, or unwanted flirting. Other examples of sexual harassment include transmitting or posting emails, texts, or pictures of a sexual or other harassment-related nature, displaying sexually suggestive objects, pictures, or posters, playing sexually suggestive music. Acts of sexual harassment are prohibited by Board Policy DIA. Discrimination is defined as conduct directed at an employee on the basis of race, color, religion, gender, national origin, age, disability, or any other basis prohibited by law that adversely affects the employee's employment. Harassment of an employee is defined as physical, verbal, or nonverbal conduct based on an employee's race, color, religion, gender, national origin, age, disability, or any other basis prohibited by law, when the conduct is so severe, persistent, or pervasive that the conduct interferes with the employee's work performance, creates a hostile work environment, or adversely affects the employee's performance, environment, or employment opportunities. Sexual harassment is a form of sex discrimination defined as unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, sexually motivated physical, verbal, or nonverbal conduct, or other conduct or communication of a sexual nature when submission to the conduct is either explicitly or implicitly a condition of an employee's employment, or when submission to or rejection of the conduct is the basis for an employment action affecting the employee, or the conduct is so severe, persistent, or pervasive that it has the purpose or effect of unreasonably interfering with the employee's work performance or creates an intimidating, threatening, hostile, or offensive work environment. Steps to file a complaint. Let the harasser know that his or her conduct is unwanted and unwelcome. Go to a supervisor and explain the circumstances and have documented dates, times, and specific occurrences. If the appropriate supervisor is unavailable or is the offender, report the incident directly to Human Services. If you voice a concern to your immediate supervisor of alleged sexual harassment, a review will be completed and you will be notified of the final determination. HCISD takes seriously any concern of alleged